Hi, my name's Chris. My wife Shauna and I own Ohio Junk Force. I'm going to talk about the cost of junk removal in Cleveland and Akron, Ohio in 2026. If you have a junk removal project and you recently searched the internet trying to find out how much it might cost you, I bet you were surprised and a little bit frustrated at the lack of information there is out there. That's because most junk removal companies do not post their pricing online. So today I'm going to talk about how is junk removal priced, how much might your project cost you, and third, I want to talk about ways that you might be able to even lower your cost. As previously mentioned, most junk removal companies do not post their pricing online. They do this on purpose. They don't want you to be able to compare their price to their competitor's price. They would prefer to set up a face-to-face quote where they send out a crew ready to do the work to give you a quote. They hope the presence of the crew being there will pressure you into accepting their quote. Often, they'll even give you a high price or a high quote, and if you push back, they'll lower it. Well, that doesn't breed confidence in knowing that you got a fair price. My wife and I do things differently. We founded this business in 2010, and we've serviced over 20,000 customers since then. We have always had our pricing available on the website for anybody to see. On top of that, everybody that calls us, we do our very best on the phone to give them an estimate of what their junk removal costs might be. And then recently, we just created new price estimator tools. These tools use new AI and they can spit out a quote in 60 seconds so you can have a good idea of what your junk removal project might cost you. So, how is junk removal priced? Most junk removal is priced by volume. The volume of the stuff that the junk removal company will remove from your home and put into their truck or trailer. Most of the trucks and trailers in the Cleveland Akron market are somewhere between 13 and 15 yards. So we can handle 13 to 15 yards of junk in one truckload. Our trucks hold 15 yards, so we have some of the bigger trucks on the market. So when you get a quote from a junk removal company, they will say your stuff will take up about a quarter truck, and this is the price. Or your stuff will take up about three-quarters of a truck. Here's your price. Okay. Um, Average prices in Cleveland for a single item pickup. Let's say that you called because you wanted a washing machine removed. A washing machine to be picked up by a junk removal company will cost you somewhere between $100 and $160. Now let's go to the other extreme. You have a lot of stuff. You're going to fill up a whole 15-yard truck like what we have. Well, a full truck in the Cleveland Akron market right now runs somewhere between $600 and $800. Now I know I just gave you a wide range, and I would like to give you a tighter range, but the truth is most junk removal companies don't publish their pricing online, so even I don't know that. But I do know this, that our junk removal prices for Ohio Junk Force are very fair. And I know that because we've given out lots of quotes in the past, and we've given them out often with another junk removal company having given a quote also. When that happens, we win about 80% of those quotes. So I think that says that our junk removal pricing is probably right in line, maybe slightly below, but I would probably assume right in line with all the other junk removal costs out there. So I'm going to give you some specific costs for junk removal here in the Cleveland Akron market. Okay, so how much does junk removal cost from Ohio Junk Force? Well, let me explain. Remember that single item pickup that we were talking about? It was a washing machine. Um, if we were to pick up a washing machine, send two guys out in our truck, pick up the washing machine, put it in the truck, and dispose of it, we charge $137. So that's our minimum charge, a single item pickup. The other extreme we talked about is if we fill up a full truck, and for us, that's 15 yards of stuff. I like to describe that to customers as, let's see, it's like 16 washing machines in a pile, or 8 three-seater couches in a pile. If you could picture the volume of that much stuff, that is a full truck, that's 15 yards. And 15 yards for us to come take it out of your home, put it in our truck, and dispose of it is $688. Now, most jobs aren't a full truck. Let's say that you only have a half a truck of stuff, and that half a truck is well, it's about 7.5 yards, which is about the equivalent of 4 3-seater couches or 8 washing machines. I don't know if you could picture that in your mind. Well, half a truck for us is $425. Well, what if you don't have that much stuff? What if you have about, say, a quarter truck of stuff, which would be the equivalent of 4 washing machines in a pile or 2 3-seater couches? If we were to take away that much stuff, that would cost $265. Now, remember I mentioned that we have new price estimator tools. You can look at our price estimator and we'll give you a picture of a single item pickup, a quarter truck, what it looks like, a half a truck, what it looks like, 3/4 of a truck, what it looks like, and a full truck. And you can get your instant estimate in under 60 seconds. So that's how volume pricing works for Ohio Junk Force. I mentioned that there's other kinds of pricing, some single item pricing. There are items like a piano or a safe that are not charged by volume. And that's because they're extremely heavy. And in the case of a piano, sometimes we have to get 4 people there to take the piano out. It's not something that you can pick up, carry out to the truck, and just toss into the truck. No, it's something that requires some safety features. For us, it's boards to protect your floor, 4-wheel dollies to be able to roll it out of the house, protect the walls, make sure we don't hurt anything. Pianos are different. So we have special piano pricing. So we have 4 different piano prices. There is the small upright piano called a spinet, and that costs $349. There's the medium upright piano, which is called a console piano, and that is $399. And then we have the large upright. Think of the old player pianos, maybe ones that are chest high, the really tall, heavy ones. Those are $489. Additionally, we can take the baby grand. That's the only piano in the grand family that we're able to remove. We can take the baby grand, and that's $549. So that's how much it costs for pianos. Now, I also want to talk about other types of services junk removal companies do. We do what we call light demolition. Not all companies do it, but Ohio Junk Force does light demolition. Let's say that you wanted a hot tub removed from your back deck. Let's say that you wanted a shed demolished and all the debris removed, or a deck demolished and everything removed, or a fence demolished and everything removed. Well, I can tell you the pricing of those. So let's start with hot tubs. Let's say you had a hot tub in your backyard and you would like it removed. So removing hot tubs is fairly common for Ohio Junk Force. How else does a normal person throw away a hot tub? It's not like you can pick it up and put it in your trash can. So we remove hot tubs all the time. And we look at hot tubs as 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. A small hot tub costs $425 to remove, all the way up to the very big hot tubs, which are about $599 to remove. And we have a price estimator on this, so you can go there and you could pick out what hot tub you have, and you could see your exact price. Something other junk removal companies do, and we do too, is what we call light demolition. We can also tear down a shed and remove all the debris and get it out of your backyard. Sheds, we've done it so often that we actually have a price estimator for sheds also. Sheds are often like 8 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 12, and even 1-car garages that are usually like 12 by 22 feet, or even a detached 2-car garage, which is usually 20 by 22 feet. You can use our estimator and get an exact price on that for your particular situation. So hopefully that's helpful. We also have that for shed or for decks and for fences. Okay, so we talked about different pricing, volume and single item pricing. Now let's talk about ways that you can lower your cost to junk removal. And the first way that you can lower your cost is you can give away stuff. You could sell stuff. So if you're going to give away stuff, I would recommend calling the Cleveland Furniture Bank. They're a great organization in Cleveland, and they help over 100 families every single month move into a new house or a new apartment with furniture. They help these people that are usually in a bad situation, and they finally get their first apartment or house after whatever happened to them. And the Cleveland Furniture Bank provides everything they need to move into that place. So call Cleveland Furniture Bank if you have some nice stuff. If you're going to try and sell it, you can do a garage sale. A lot of customers do that. Or you can use Facebook Marketplace to try to sell it. And third, another way is throw it away. Um, Most places have weekly trash pickup, and often they have at least once a month, they might have bulk trash day. Get as much of the stuff out onto the trash that you can for your weekly pickup. Well, I hope this is helpful for you. I don't know if I answered all your questions, but we would be happy to answer any questions you have. We're happy to give free estimates over the phone. If you don't want to use our price estimators and use our website, give us a call. We are happy to help. So whatever project you're doing, I wish you all the luck. Hopefully you can find some strategies to lower your cost. Who knows, maybe you can even make it zero. That's the best price of all. So hope you have a great day. God bless. Thank you.